Take a deep breath. Slowly. Hold it for a moment. Now exhale. Something is shifting around you, and within you. Even if everything on the surface seems the same, your soul already knows that it's about to discover something that will completely change how you understand this connection. This is not about coincidence. This is about divine design. There is a reason why that person keeps coming back to your thoughts at random moments. Why your heart races when you hear their name, or why you feel that magnetic pull in their presence, even when they try to act indifferent. But here's what your angels are whispering now: the truth behind this connection won't reveal itself until you finally let go of your need to control what happens next. And that's the hardest part, isn't it? You've spent a lifetime being the one who holds everything together. At home, at work, in your relationships. You're the steady one, the reliable one. The one who makes sure nobody falls apart, even when you secretly feel like you're unraveling inside. But when it comes to this person, all your usual tools don't seem to work. They came into your life like a quiet storm, unexpected, disarming, and impossible to ignore. At first, maybe you didn't even notice. It was just a look. A brief moment of recognition. That odd feeling of having met before, perhaps not in this lifetime, but in some distant place your soul remembers. And then, everything changed. They stirred something inside you that had been sleeping for years. Not just desire. Not just curiosity. But a longing so ancient, so raw, it almost hurt. You found yourself wondering, why now? Why them? Why me? Here's the part nobody tells you about spiritual connections. They don't come to make life easier. They come to make you see. And that's what's happening. You are being asked, not forced, to enter a state of surrender. To stop planning out every detail. To stop anticipating the outcomes. To stop trying to make sense of something that was never meant to be understood through logic. This connection wasn't formed in this lifetime. It's a reunion. But reunions can be complex. Especially when the timing isn't perfect. Maybe they're unavailable. Emotionally. Geographically. Spiritually. Maybe you're going through your own unraveling, and they appeared just when you thought you were starting to rebuild. But let me ask you something. Have you thought about the fact that this is the rebuilding? Your angels are showing you that this person didn't come to complete you. They came to reflect you. To reveal what still hurts. What you've healed. What still triggers you. What you've forgotten about yourself. Because they see you. Not just the version of you that you present to the world, but the real you. The woman behind the smile. The soul beneath the strength. The heart that's still learning to trust. And guess what? It scares them. Yes, you read that right. You intimidate them, not because you're overwhelming, but because you are truth. You are clarity. You are everything they've been yearning for in silence and avoiding at the same time. They weren't prepared to meet someone like you. And maybe you weren't ready to be seen so deeply either. But here you are. And even in their silence, even in the distance, something inside them is changing. Because your presence triggered something sacred. Your softness. Your honesty. The way your energy speaks without words. They felt it. They still feel it. Even if they haven't said it. Even if they're pretending otherwise. And right now, their soul is grappling with what to do next. One part of them wants to run, back to the familiar, the safe, the predictable. The other part, the braver part, it wants to reach for you. But not just physically. Emotionally. Spiritually. Completely. And that, dear soul, is what's taking time. So what should you do? Let go. Not of the connection, but of the need to control it. The need to know. The need to be chosen in the way you imagined. Because this isn't about chasing. It's about magnetism. You already drew them in, effortlessly. Now, your only task is to be. To radiate. To trust. And here's what your angels want you to hear right now. This story is still being written. but the pen is in both of your hands. They're being called to grow, to confront parts of themselves they never dared to face. And you? You're being invited to stay gentle, even when it would be easier to harden. So let go. Not of them, but of how you think it has to unfold. Because when you do, the truth behind this divine connection will start to reveal itself. Slowly, beautifully, unforgettably. And you'll come to realize that surrender was never the end. It was always the beginning. Something unexpected begins to unfold the moment you stop trying to write the story alone. Because here's what your angels are orchestrating behind the scenes: a collision of divine timing and awakened hearts. This person, the one who occupies your thoughts and softens your defenses, is not as unaware as you might think. Even in silence, their energy reaches for you. Even in the spaces between words, they wonder, what is this? Why can't I forget them? They may not admit it out loud. They may still be trying to cling to logic, to rational explanations. But there is no logic behind soul recognition. No formula to explain a pull that defies time and space. The bond you share with them is not fragile. It is sacred. It was etched into your soul's contract long before your paths crossed on this earthly plane. And right now, their soul is awakening to that truth. But awakening is not always peaceful. Sometimes it begins with discomfort, with emotional chaos, with dreams that leave them breathless, with memories they can't quite place, but that feel so real, with signs from the universe that seem too obvious to ignore. They're noticing it too. The synchronicities, the songs, the names, the numbers, the strange timing of your appearances in their life. Even if they act indifferent, even if they distance themselves, they feel it. And here's what's most important. This isn't a test of your patience. It's an initiation of your power. The angels want you to understand. The moment you stop chasing answers and start embodying truth, everything shifts. You become the lighthouse, not the searcher. The flame, not the seeker of warmth. And from that energy, they feel you even more. They might not say it. They might not yet know how to. But their soul is responding to yours. What's keeping them quiet? Fear. Not of you, but of what being with you would require. The dismantling of their walls. The death of their false identities. The risk of being seen without their armor. You didn't ask for their transformation, but your presence demands it. Because love like this, the kind that's written in the stars and carved in divine light, it changes everything. And that's exactly why they're hesitating. They've never felt this before. They've never had to show up fully before. And you? You're not just another chapter. You're the plot twist. The one their soul knew was coming, but their ego still resists. So here you are, waiting, not passively, but patiently, lovingly, faithfully, holding space for something that's still becoming. And the angels see you. They see your quiet strength, your longing, your questions. They want you to know, your openness is not weakness. It's spiritual leadership. You are leading by trusting what can't be seen. And in that, you're guiding them too. Because they watch you. Even if it's from a distance. Even if it's behind a screen or through memories. They're observing how you live, how you speak, how you carry your light. And it moves them. More than they'd ever admit. So what comes next? Something subtle. Then something unmistakable. A message. A shift. A gesture that seems small but feels monumental. They will reach out, not because you pursued them, not because you convinced them, but because your energy made them feel safe to become who they're meant to be. That's the power of letting go of control. You don't lose the story. You become the story. And every page that follows begins to write itself with grace, with alignment, with divine orchestration. But now, before we close this chapter and allow the next one to unfold, the angels are asking something simple. Keep your heart open. Even when logic fights it. even when doubt creeps in. Because the heart is where truth resides. And your truth has always been love. Stay there. It's where they'll find you again. It's where they'll finally meet you. Not halfway, but fully. Ready. Called not by urgency, but by destiny. And when that moment comes, and it will, you won't have to question it. Because you will feel the answer in every part of your soul. And they will speak the words your heart has always known. The reunion won't be loud. It will be right. There is something sacred about the silence between two souls destined to meet again. It's in that quiet space, between knowing and waiting, between surrender and becoming, that miracles are born. And right now, your angels are preparing something extraordinary in that silence. You see, this isn't just about love. It's about remembrance. It's about two souls who recognized each other long before words were spoken, who made a sacred agreement in the realms of light. When we meet again, we'll awaken each other. You didn't come into their life to fit into a role. You came to crack it open, to unlock the gates they closed a long time ago. And now that your energy has touched theirs, they can't go back to who they used to be. They've tried. They've tried to forget, to move on. To label this as just another attraction, just another phase. But nothing works. Because your love was never meant to be ordinary. It was always meant to disrupt, to dissolve every illusion and remind them of what their heart has always craved. And that's terrifying. Because when someone has spent years numbing their heart, the first real feeling can feel like chaos. But don't be misled by the distance. Don't be discouraged by the silence. Because in the silence, the soul speaks the loudest. Your angels want you to know, this person hears your soul. They feel your prayers. They receive the energy you send out in moments of hope, longing, and surrender. Every time you think of them with compassion, it reaches them. Every time you choose love over fear, it strengthens the invisible bridge between you. And soon, that bridge will be crossed. But not out of need. Out of readiness. Because when they return, and they will, it will be with intention, not confusion. With clarity, not chaos. They will have faced the parts of themselves they once ran from. And they will recognize in you not just a person, but home. And when that happens, it won't feel like a grand arrival. It will feel like peace. It will feel like finally. But until then, your only job is this: remain open. Open to love in all its forms. Open to joy, to beauty, to your own evolution. Because this journey was never just about them. It was always about you. About reclaiming your light. About learning that your worth isn't measured by someone else's readiness. About understanding that you are whole, even in waiting. Even in uncertainty. Even in the becoming. Your angels are watching over this union. They are guiding every step, every delay, every twist in the path. Nothing has been lost. Everything is coming together. And in divine timing, not your timing, but sacred timing, they will step forward. Not because they have to, but because their soul cannot resist. And when they do, you won't need to question or explain or overthink. You'll simply know. Because that's how divine love manifests. Not with noise, but with truth. And that truth will settle into your heart like the final piece of a puzzle you didn't realize was missing. So trust the process. Let go of how it happens. Hold the vision. Because the love you've been preparing for is preparing for you too. And very soon, it will find you. Not just by chance, but by divine design.